it's Melissa from Your Doctors Online, and today I'm going to show you how to make a skin-saving salve. It's super easy to make, and it's actually made with something you probably can find in your front yard, dandelions. Okay guys, so the good thing about making this salve is that it only requires a few ingredients, and you can make it as easy or as complicated as you want. So I'm going to make a basic version, which is just some beeswax. You can get this on Amazon, or you can get this from like any local bee farmer. Can have them at like farmers markets. That's where I got mine. And then some olive oil. And you can also make a fancier version, which I'll also show you. So I have some dried lavender and some cocoa butter and shea butter to make like a whipped body butter. So the first step is to try to get rid of as much moisture as you can from the actual dandelions. So what I've done is I've washed these, I've let them soak. I want to get all the dirt off them. I've removed the roots because they're very good for dandelion tea. So I've removed the roots and I am making dandelion tea for that, which is going to be in a different video. But for now, I'm getting rid of all the moisture I can because water is not something you want in yourself, because when water is in a personal body product, then it has a much shorter shelf life because it can grow bacteria. So we don't want to have any water in this. So I'm removing all the water that I can, and then I'm going to put it into my crock pot. Added the dandelions to the crock pot, I've covered it in oil, and then I've added some dried lavender. Dried lavender is completely optional. I just got mine from a local farmer's market. You can choose to add lavender essential oil. If you're going to do essential oil, add it at the end once your salve is cooled. Heat can destroy the medicinal properties of lavender. Lavender is really good for skin inflammation. So I'm adding dried lavender at this point so it can infuse along with the oil. So what I'm going to do at this point is I'm going to put it on warm. You don't want to cook the oil. You don't want to burn the oil, so you want to put it on warm, and I'm going to leave it, checking it periodically for about 24 hours with the lid on. Once your oil has been infusing for about 24 hours, I actually probably kept mine closer to 36. I put it in a strainer, and then I actually let it sit for about an hour, and I used a bowl or whatever you have to just get all the oil out you can. And then this is the result. So you can see how dark the oil is. Now what I've done is I've prepared my other ingredients. So I have some shea butter, some cocoa butter, and some beeswax. You don't have to go as crazy as I did. You can make a very simple balm. If you add the oil and beeswax at about a ratio of 2 to 1, so 2 times the oil as the beeswax, you can make a balm like this. Something like this you can use as a nice beeswax. You can use it on your hands, you can use it on your feet, you can use it on a baby's bum, and it will have all the same benefits. So it'll help with inflammation, it'll help with moisturizing, beeswax will seal the moisture in. So you can do that simply with just the olive oil and the beeswax. But what I'm going to do is take it a little bit further, and I'm going to make a whipped body butter, and I'm going to make some lotion bars. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to melt my ingredients. I'm going to go with the same type of 2 to 1 ratio. So 2 parts oil and 1 part my more solid ingredients. And I'm going to melt them over a double burner. And once they're all melted, I'm going to combine them. If you guys are like me and you don't have a double burner, this is a very simple double burner. All I've done is I'm boiling water underneath, and I put a glass bowl on top. And all I'm doing is melting all the ingredients together. And I also realized to mention that I did grate the beeswax. I just used a cheese grater for that. You can also get your beeswax in pellets, which makes it easier to melt, but if you try to melt a puck of beeswax like I had, it will just take forever. So this just speeds the process up. So all I'm going to do is wait for everything to become a liquid together on my makeshift double burner. Now our oil is melted with all of our extra ingredients. So if you want to do a lotion bar, now this is a mold that I just got off of Amazon, but you can even use like silicone ice cube trays or whatever. I'm just going to fill my mold while it's liquid. And you simply just wait for it to solidify. If you get any extra around the end, you can always remelt it or just rub it into your hands. Now the oil that's in here, we're gonna whip. So I've got my little handheld, I think this is like an emulsifier, mixer, whatever. And I'm just gonna start mixing, and as it starts hardening, it'll start whipping into like a butter type consistency. This kind of gives you an idea of what color it is. Definitely like a pea soup. I haven't put any essential oils in it. Don't put any essential oils in it until it's cool, or the heat will destroy all of their medicinal or health properties. So don't put anything in it when it's hot. Just like mix it around. As you go, it'll harden, start to increase in volume, and change consistency. So as you go, you're going to see, you can see how it's like solidifying at the top. You're gonna need to scrape the sides as it's solidifying, and then mix it again. So basically, you don't need to be constantly mixing. That will just probably burn out the motor of your blender or emulsifier, but just keep letting it solidify a little bit, and then blend it back together, let it solidify, and blend it back together. So once your lotion looks like this, which is kind of like the consistency of frosting, then it's ready to just get mixed up one more time, and then you can put it in your jars. This is the time to add any essential oil. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add about 10 drops of lavender, because I put lavender in it already. It'll just really pick up that scent, because, you know, dandelions doesn't smell amazing, funnily enough. It doesn't smell amazing. It smells very earthy, so I want it to smell nice, so I'm putting lavender in. Lavender is also really good for inflammation, so it'll just make it all that better for your skin. Okay, so I've got my lotion bar. I took it and put it in the freezer just to speed up the hardening time, but it really doesn't take long. So this is just a silicone mold, so you can just kind of carefully move the sides. And this is like kind of a more detailed mold. This is something you could use for soap. So here's a closer look at the completed lotion bars. So that's it. That's 3 easy ways that you can use the dandelions in your own yard. Simply add beeswax and infused oil. You can do a balm like this. You can add cocoa butter and shea butter as well as beeswax. And you can do a lotion bar like this, or you can whip it and you can do a body butter like this. The most important thing, do not put the lid on your jar until it's completely cooled. Otherwise you can get condensation, and any water in there can really reduce the shelf life. So do not put the lid on until it's completely cooled. And enjoy!